What's up, roofing contractors and social media marketing agency owners, SMMA guys, you know who you are. This is Michael Mignogna, and in this video, I am going to be sharing something really important with you, and I can't wait because this is one of the biggest things that you need to do right when you're talking to a potential client to get them to hire you. And let's just jump right over to the slides right now so that we can dive right into it, because this is going to be an insanely valuable video for you to watch. Ready? Here we go. So this presentation is titled, "What kinds of guarantees should you make to potential clients to get them to hire you?" Exactly what I say to get roofers and other contractors to trust me and hire me. So when you're on a phone call with a potential client, maybe you've reached out to them through email or you've DM'd them on Instagram or Facebook, and they've responded saying they want to talk to you about what you might be able to do for them. Or maybe you've been running Facebook ads and getting leads for yourself, and you finally get them on the phone and they say to you, what kind of guarantee can you make me with regard to what you can help me accomplish? And if you're selling a service that generates roofing leads for roofers, obviously, or other leads for other contractors like interior modelers or painting contractors or siding contractors or gutter guys or whatever, they're probably going to want to know, what can you guarantee so that if I pay you money, I know that I'm paying for something that I should be getting, and that if I don't get that, I don't want to have to keep paying you, and I might even want my money back. What sort of guarantees do you make me? And how you answer this question is largely going to determine whether or not they decide to put their faith in you and hire you. So that's what this presentation is about. And I hope you love it. I hope you get a ton of value from it, because this is what I believe is actually one of the things I do really well when I'm on a phone call with a potential client. So let's jump right into it. The first thing to note is that making some sort of guarantee is really important. Okay? If someone says to you, what kind of guarantees can you make? And you say, I don't make guarantees. That's a problem. They're going to be like, okay, see ya. I need someone that can make me some sort of guarantee. And so you need to have an answer to that. Now, the advantage that we have is that most people make guarantees that all sound the same. And they all guarantee some sort of thing that we can argue is not guaranteeable. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And then we're going to also go into exactly what you should say, literally word for word, to get new clients. So usually people make guarantees based on the number of leads that they guarantee they're going to be able to get a roofing contractor, or the number of closed jobs they can guarantee they're going to get a roofing contractor. Neither of those are a very good idea to try to guarantee for a number of reasons. The number of leads, guaranteeing a number of leads in a month, is way too hard to guarantee. What if you miss it by one lead? What if you guarantee 30 leads? And obviously, this is all dependent on how much the client spends per day. So you're also going to have to go into, if you spend $50 a day, I guarantee 30 leads at least. What if you get them 29 leads and they say to you, you only got me 29 leads? That's just not a good way to start a relationship with the pettiness of counting leads. Or what if you hit the goal, maybe you get 37 leads, or let me say 34 leads, and they say, 5 of these I couldn't get in touch with. So it's really 29 leads you gave me. I don't want to pay you this month. That's a problem, or I want my money back at the end of the month. That's the pettiness there. That sort of dynamic is just not conducive to a healthy relationship. And ultimately, you want to develop a healthy relationship with your clients. You want them to really think of you as part of their business, because you are part of their business. And if you truly do good work, and you truly are a good person who can deliver an amazing service, then these guarantees only set both of you up for awkward conversations and failure. And there is a way better option. Now, the number of closed deals, again, way too difficult to guarantee because it's dependent on the client's ability to close deals. If you get them 50 amazing leads and they don't close any of them, they may say, "Oh, the leads suck." Well, the leads don't suck; they just can't close the leads. And why should you suffer if they can't even close a front door, right? I mean, why should the payment to you be dependent on their ability to close deals? Now, ultimately, it is dependent on their ability to close deals, because if they can't close any deals, they're not going to want to continue paying you because they're not going to be making any money. But at the very least, you aren't setting the terms on that premise. And that provides, again, for a much healthier business relationship. You don't want to say to them, "Hey, I guarantee you close at least 3 or 5 deals your first month, or you can not pay me, or better yet, or I'll fully refund you what you did pay me." That's just not a good thing to do. It puts way too much stress on the client and you. The best guarantee, however, is one that truly gives the client all the power. Now, I know that might come as a surprise to you. Like, wait a minute, it seemed like the other sort of guarantees gave the client the power, and we wanted to make sure we kept all the power. But no, the best guarantee is one that actually gives the client all the power in a very nonchalant way, in a very confident way, and it's one that is all-encompassing. So let's talk about what that means. Now, believe it or not, clients don't want to take on the burden of counting leads to see if they got the number you promised. They don't want to be that petty lead counting contractor. They also don't need the added stress of closing deals, and paying you should not feel like a penalty for having closed a deal in the first month. If they close a deal in the first month, they shouldn't think to themselves, "Oh, I closed a deal, I'm going to have to pay the marketer," right? And it's just not. It's kind of icky, and there's no better way to put it. It's just kind of an icky thing to have the pettiness involved in those things. The best guarantee gives you the opportunity to be totally straight with them, totally honest, and that builds more trust than you can ever imagine. So I'm about to read to you word for word exactly what that guarantee is. And you're going to be able to see how it's so transparent. It gives the opportunity to be so honest with them that the trust level with you goes to 100 almost immediately after you say exactly what I'm going to teach you to say. So here is exactly what to say when explaining what you guarantee. I'm just going to read it word for word. So let's say they say, What can you guarantee me? You say, "Listen, lots of other marketers promise or guarantee a certain number of leads per month or a certain number of closed deals. But when they do, that really is a red flag to me. No one can predict the number of leads that are going to come in, nor can anyone know how many deals a particular roofer will be able to close. Each market is different. The times of year have an effect on lead flow as well. It would just be completely disingenuous of me to pretend that I can promise any of that. Instead, I can and do guarantee my clients something way better than that. And here's what that is. If at the end of the first month you don't like working with me, you think my system is not going to be a good fit for your company moving forward, and you want your money back, we can part ways on good terms, and I will fully refund you the money you paid me. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't like taking money from people who I'm not making money for. I have lots of happy clients. I love my job because I know for certain that every penny I make is money that's happily paid to me. Does that make sense? Say it just like that. Memorize that word for word. And when you ask them if it makes sense, that pause and saying, "Does that make sense?" Their reaction is going to be it's such an amazingly warm reaction that they usually have after hearing that. The honesty of that passage is jarring to them in a good way. They hear it and they're like, and it's so different than what they might have heard on phone calls with other marketers who are really, salesy sounding. They almost feel like, wow, this guy seems so much more trustworthy than anyone else I've spoken to. You can usually get them to sign on the dotted line right then and there. Now, the really cool thing about this sort of guarantee is it allows you to get paid up front. Okay. So instead of doing a trial of a week or two, which is too short, or a month, which is so long, it allows you to get paid up front. And cash flow is important for a number of reasons. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do a trial, and I'll get into that in other videos. But if you can, you get paid up front. And it's good to get paid up front because you can use some of that money to advertise for yourself to get more clients. You can run Facebook ads for yourself, Instagram ads for yourself. There's a number of reasons why this is important to be doing. And I'll go into that in other videos as well, and I'll teach you how to do it for yourself and how to get clients. It also mitigates the perceived risk in the eyes of the client, who now knows they will get a refund if they aren't happy. So yes, they're going to have to pay you up front for the month, for the first month. They're not going to have to agree to additional months past that. It's month to month from the get-go. But they know that if they aren't happy, they don't ever want to work with you again, and they want a refund, you will give it to them. Okay? I want to go back to this for 1 minute because I do want to point something else out. Where it says on here, if you didn't like working with me, you think my system is not going to be a good for you moving forward. It says, I can and do guarantee my clients something way better. If at the end of the first month you didn't like working with me, you think my system is not going to be a good fit for your company moving forward, and you want your money back, we can part ways on good terms, and I will fully refund the money you paid me. Now, I want to add to this that you can actually edit part of this, and you can say, if at the end of the first month you didn't like working with me, and you don't ever want to work with me again, because you think my system is not going to be a good fit for your company moving forward, and you want your money back, we can part ways on good terms, and I will fully refund you the money you paid me. Now, the reason I added that one part in that says, and I usually say this, I just forgot to type it into this paragraph. The reason it's good to say, and if you never want to work with me again, it's because, listen, at the end of the first month, if you didn't hit a home run with them, but you still did a lot of things right, they're getting results, just not quite the results they wanted. Deciding to never work with you again, deciding that this will never get better and this is as good as it's going to get, that's something that they're going to have to commit to. So deciding to let you go forever and never get you back, they're going to think twice about that. So just keep that in mind, because I'm going to talk about this in another video that really gets into how to keep clients from requesting that refund and actually how to keep them forever. So just keep that in mind. That's an important point that I forgot to make and that I'm making right now. So what if they do want a refund at the end of the first month? I kind of just touched on this. There are ways to salvage the relationship and avoid giving a refund. And what you need to do is you need to offer them something so that they agree to not getting a refund and are happy to stay with you another month. So what are those things that you can offer them that keep the money in your pocket and make them happy to stay with you for another month? Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to subscribe right now if you haven't already, because I'll be releasing a course that teaches everything I do, including exactly what to say if they want a refund, so that you can avoid it and even keep them as clients forever. I'm going to go through exactly what to say, both in the explanation of the guarantee, which I've already touched on heavily, but even more so what you can say at the end of the first month if they do think they had a little bit of a rough month. It wasn't exactly what they expected. They are thinking they might want a refund or they want a refund. How to salvage that relationship and actually keep them as clients forever. I have clients that after the first month, they weren't fully convinced that this is something they wanted to continue doing. But because I know what I'm doing, because my system works, I knew that if I could convince them to stay with me longer than just 1 month, while the first month was not perfect, it would get better and better every month, and it would be something that would be insanely valuable for their business. And so it's in my interest to get them to stay, and it's in their interest to stay. So I need to convince them of that. And with clients that I've done that with successfully, and I have quite a few, they are so thrilled that they stuck with it and were persistent and stayed with me, because now they have an amazing lead source that makes them a lot of money, that guarantees them new business every single month that they can rely on, and they didn't jump ship too hastily. So what do I say to make that happen? And I'm going to share that with you in the course that I release that teaches exactly what I do and all of the little bits that I do to, like, these sorts of things to get clients and keep them. And that's the presentation, guys. I hope you loved this on YouTube. If you haven't, like I said, subscribe, comment below and let me know what you thought of this video, if it was helpful to you, or if there are any questions that you have around this video, about this video. I'd love to help answer those questions in the comments, but I could also make additional videos that touch on these things. So definitely share with me how you feel about this content and what else you might like to know. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you later.